executive heart with a mediator's light, turning hard talks into paths that feel right. Hosting just jacks, we lift every voice. Re-entry with dignity, give people a choice. Restorative justice, repair what was torn. Conflict resolution, new trust can be born. Family reunification, bring loved ones back. Hosting just jacks, we stay on that track. Hosting. Sitting with the hurt and the harm in one room. Let truth breathe easy so grace can bloom. Victim offender mediation, step by step. Teaching how to listen and make a safe rep. From cell blocks to classrooms, from courts to the street. Designing programs where real people meet. Community centers and facilities too. Building bridges that carry us through. 50 states traveled, a map full of skies. Showing how to journey with wide open eyes. Workshops and pages, your wisdom in ink. When the world needs mending, you help it rethink. Host of just jacks, we lift every voice. Re-entry with dignity, give people a choice. Restorative justice, repair what was torn. Conflict resolution, new trust can be born. Family reunification, bring loved ones back. Hosting just jacks, we stay on that track.
We did it. We made it to Monday. I don't know why I'm so excited about Monday every week. Guys, I used to kind of dread Mondays. I'm not even going to lie. It just felt like, oh, all of our fun is gone. And, we don't really get to do as much as we want to do anymore. And that's just not true, guys. It's almost like it's a whole new opportunity to just do cool stuff. Not really reinvent yourself, but reinvent your attitude and your mind. Mondays are always now my very busiest day for a couple of reasons for my day job. But the evening, guys, I'm usually all cozy by 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time when Just Jax is on every week. But it's just too much to not get excited with all the great people here. So Kinga, thank you so much for joining on YouTube. I always appreciate you going back and forth and you trying to figure out what is the best connection, because there are some times that I tell you, our LinkedIn, it doesn't always love us on these shows. So I appreciate you being here. And we've got Randy House and Christy's here. I love that so much. Leanne, I don't think I realized you were in Minnesota, or maybe we did talk about that once, because I just am always amazed by people that live not that far away, but yet they're still far away. So I appreciate you being here as well. It's going to be a great night, guys. We've got Dr. Marcia in the house tonight. And I am somebody that I've known her for such a long time, seen her. I remember her doing a lot of shows with Annie. I remember the book that came out about COVID. I know that she does her 8 o'clock show on Tuesday mornings, but I'm not always able to join that one. But I always just love highlighting her and seeing her and knowing that she's available to, just drop so much knowledge whenever you're going to see her on stage. So I was super excited when she was able to join. So happy that she's in the house tonight. We're going to have a great time getting to know her. Usually every time on Just Jackson Guests, there are 2 guests. This time there's only 1 guest. So Dr. Marcia will be on for a while. And then I have a whole bunch of kind of interesting updates and things for you to consider, and things that maybe might be considered many challenges for you that I hope you're willing to consider, take on, get involved with. So I'm super excited about that. One of the things I do want to make sure, though, if you have questions for Dr. Marcia, please put them in the chat as soon as you can, because while she's talking, I want to make sure that I can highlight them and that she can circle back. Because if you've watched the show before, I always start out with 3 questions for each guest, and I want to make sure then she has plenty of time to talk about herself. She deserves to hype up all the cool things. We were backstage for a little bit and just talking about some things that I didn't even realize about her. So you're going to love her. Guys, there's some pretty cool things going on, and I can't wait to share more after we give Dr. Marcia the time to shine. But one thing I really want to highlight is, if you are not following the H3 network, please do. You guys know my heart and soul is in reentry and in really second chances and trying to get involved in more of the correction space for each and every one of us, not just if you've had lived experience or if you work in the field like I do. But it's super important to be aware because you never know when somebody you care about, someone you love, somebody you're going to work with, somebody that might become a neighbor of yours could find themselves in the jail or prison system in the United States. And I really give so many kudos to Noah and the crew on creating this network that's really highlighting so much cool stuff. And last Thursday, guys, they did the Brick by Brick virtual reentry conference, and it was just fabulous, like fabulous. And the coolest thing, they're actually dropping the content for free. So you can actually go and watch the replays. You can learn from the keynote speakers, the workshop speakers, and really learn more about reentry. So I love to talk to anybody in the reentry field. I've had so many people as guests on here, some of the people that are doing podcasts with the H3 network and people that have had lived experience, people that have done the work. And one of my friends is on now, Eric. He was one of our guests not too long ago, also in the reentry space. So he knows exactly what I'm talking about when I'm saying it's a big world, and the more that we know about it, the better it is for all of us. William, Rochelle, Bill, love you. Thank you so much for sending some love on the YouTube side. I always appreciate you. Guys, are you ready? Are you ready? I think you're ready to meet Dr. Marcia. Most of you guys know her, but let's know her in a different way because she's so amazing. I'm ready to bring her up. Here she comes. How are you?
Good night, everyone. I'm fine, thank you. It's so good to be here. I really appreciate being invited, and I really love your program too. I join when I can, and I'm happy to share. So happy that I'm able to share.
Well, and you deserve to share because there are people that they watch all the time and it's just not their thing. They don't want to be a guest, and I totally respect that. But when I see people that are literally cheering us on, they're coming, they're hyping the other guests that are on, I'm like, you need to get on stage yourself. And so when you said yes, I was like, yeah, because now you would get to do your show bright and early tomorrow morning, right?
Yes, at 8.
Well,
And I'm going to be talking about, my country has suffered a very devastating and catastrophic hurricane, and I gave some of my services free. I'm not in Jamaica this time, so I wanted to be able to give women courage because that's really what I do. And so I have a group session for them. And I'm learning so much that I think I might have to be writing a book about this because I'm learning so much about the healing, the survival remorse that many are feeling, and also the depression that is now coming on them as they try to regroup. And so I'll be talking about that tomorrow, how they deal with their past, the post-depression, disaster depression for leaders in themselves.
that is so powerful. And to think about post-disaster trauma, I mean, it's something that their brains aren't even caught up with all the chaos that's going on and all the changes. And this is going to be something that's going to be impacting so many humans for so long. And I love the idea you're going to bring this to your topic tomorrow and that you're going to possibly write that book because you have already written a bunch of books, but I don't want to get off track yet. I want to hit you with my 3 questions, and then we're going to talk all about the cool things Dr. Marcia does. So first off, you have done a lot. And like I said, I've known about some of it, and then you were dropping some knowledge in the back room before we went live. You have done so much, but what are 2 things that stand out that you are personally proud of that you've accomplished? Will you share that with us?
Well, for one, I find that the things that I'm really proud of are not things that other people would be proud of because I'm more concerned about being significant more than successful because I feel that when you make persons become masters of their own destiny, you give them power, the power to live life based on their conditions, their choice, and what is really their purpose. So they become real meaningful and they change the lives of others. That's one of the things that I'm proud of, that I took the challenge and I took the time to understand what my purpose is. And as a spiritual person, a Christian, I believe that your gifts and your talents, your unique talents are given to you to be used, but they can be misused if they are not used for the purpose that you were born and to solve the problems that you were created to solve. To get to that point and to find out what it is can be a hard road, can be a tedious road. But when you do get there and you begin to press into your purpose, you begin to understand the meaning of life and this why significance and building a legacy is so important. So I'm really happy for the legacy that I have managed to build in the different capacities that I've served and how many lives I have empowered and outcomes that I have changed and in very small but very important and unique ways. And so that's one of the things I'm proud of, that I was able, very grateful for the way God has allowed me to walk beside, alongside women who feel that they are worn thin by personal and professional issues, by their life and the leadership, and watching them reconnect to their God-given identity and become masters of their own destiny and become joyful and happy is like witnessing a lamp flickering back to life. And the next thing I'm proud of is the work that I have created that give women language and voice and power. The books that I have written to equip disadvantaged persons in particular rural schools in Jamaica. I have done a research that is the only research that has been done on rural schools in Jamaica. And I have also suggested a model that I call a MISA model to improve student achievement in these schools. And I'm really proud of that because that has taken a lot of root and traction, has changed a lot of outcomes, and have produced renewal, reconnection, self-worth, and obedience to calling that really produces real fruit.
That is just spectacular.
Thanks.
I mean, when you think about, oh, not just doing great work, but being groundbreaking in that work and how many lives can be impacted in such a powerful way. Now, you told me earlier that you were in education leadership for quite some time and you could have just walked away from it. Just go into all your other coaching and all the other great stuff that you do. And instead, you kind of wrapped right around it and said, more needs to be done and nobody else is doing it. And I love your legacy too. I think so many times I think humans just keep chasing. I need to do more. I need to do more. I need to have this title. I need to have all of this. I'm not happy with doing one book. I have to do 17 books. And the fact that you are living your legacy right now and seeing that impact and bringing joy to people, I just love that so much. And I appreciate you so much for recognizing that in yourself, because so many of us don't always give ourselves compliments. So thank you for that.
That's correct.
So with your degree, your books you've written, all these leadership things, all the lives you have changed in the most positive ways, as humans, we still got to grow. We've still got to learn. We still have our own roadblocks and barriers some days. What is one area that you are actually growing in right now or learning more about yourself?
You know, I'm a person who likes control. I found that out about myself. I like to control the outcomes. I like to know what is happening. I like to know what I'm about. I don't do well. Well, I never used to. I am now adapting nicely, but I just never did well with not knowing how things will work out. I like to project. I like to know what the outcome is likely to be, positively securing that outcome. So I like to know that when I do this, this is what is likely to happen. But I'm growing in that way. So I really was a little micromanager. And I've now been able to spread myself where I give persons enough time to test themselves, to see what they can produce. And in that way, I am also learning to, what would I say now, to practice rest. And when I talk about rest, I'm not talking about rest where you physically rest. I'm talking about rest as a discipline, the kind that means that you step back from the forefront and you allow other persons to collaborate with you and you allow their purpose to also shine. So it's a kind that quiets your spirit in a mentor way, in just a way where you mentor persons, you guide them through that are fumbling through the dark into light, and you allow them to take those steps, painful or otherwise, instead of macromanaging. And so I'm growing in that way to hear God more clearly, and to let go more freely. But it's a purposeful and intentional letting go, and not just releasing what it is that you don't want. No, some of the things that you don't want, you find that you have to entertain in others, and that entertaining means that I let go of my expectations, my presuppositions, and I just allow people to be themselves, and I accept persons for who they are, and I also give them guidance if I feel that I have something that will add value to their life. So the more I grow into that type of rest, is the more capacity I have to serve with clarity and joy.
I love that so much. So Kinga was saying letting go right before you use those words, right after you talked
Okay.
about rest. Mike's like rest in surrender. I mean, that's
Yes.
pretty powerful. One of the things that was really cool watching you talk about that is that you started off, I like to be in control and micromanage. And then you just kind of relaxed as you started talking about letting go and true rest. And I think that is just a magical thing to watch your whole face, because when you are driven, when you are meant to be a leader and you focus and you've done so many things, it is hard. And I don't love that word micromanaging, because to me, it means that we have the intention to put people down. And I think it's more that we just know we want things to be good and we want quality services. And sometimes it takes a long time to explain it to somebody else when we could just do it ourselves. And I think some of us just grew up hearing that you gotta be perfect. You gotta make sure you don't screw anything up. And so it's hard. It's hard to share things with other people and to give people tasks that can elevate them. But like you said, it's so powerful to watch them grow and to watch them get their little
Yes.
wings, and then they get that confidence too. So I love that. I definitely need to grow with you a little bit in that, because I still start doing things and then I'm like, okay, do I pull back or do I give away? Do I just keep doing it? It's kind of a game, isn't it? Sometimes with our own brains, I think.
Very much so. And the reality right now is that I'm growing to discover, and that I feel is one of the traits that we must have to be successful, in the sense of the collaboration, the compassion, the empathy that we need, is that these young persons, I don't know if it is that we have not done our work well, or it is that we have done our work too well. But these young persons of today, they don't like to be boxed in. They like to have a lot of freedom to be themselves and to grow and to discover these things. And they are very impatient and very rebellious when you box them in. So as a leader, these persons coming into your institution, you're gonna have to be very flexible and adaptable, although you're gonna be very firm and intentional, because your vision and the mission must be kept in the forefront. But you're gonna have to find very creative ways and collaborative ways to persuade and not force these persons. And so you're gonna have to develop a certain level of patience and rest and confidence, which requires a lot of surrender and obedience, for you to really groom them to become excellent managers in organizations, and to grow and move forward and elevate themselves, because it's really a challenge. They're very stubborn and very set in their ways. It's so hard to mold them and to shape them. And so you're gonna have to look at using persuasion tactics and not force.
Oh, I love that. And there are times that sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I would have that younger mindset where it's just like, it's this way or no way. And I'm like, oh no, I just got to do it all sometimes. So I love that. And I love the idea of, the different ways to get to solve the same problem. And that kind of gets me excited, but it's like, man, why didn't I think of it that way? Or, oh my gosh, they just took so much more time doing that. If I could have just told them, or if they would have listened, or if they would have read my email, then it would have been just fine. So
Very much so.
I love that. So I have, I don't know if you saw, but Nicole put on here that she was having some glitches with LinkedIn. So if you guys are also having glitches with LinkedIn and you want to comment or you want to ask Dr. Marcia any questions, feel free to go over to my YouTube page, and it's just exactly like my name on there, except there's no comma there. So just at Jackie Hallberg, LMSW. And that would be probably the easiest. There's usually not any glitches there. Funny thing, Dr. Marcia, I was watching Felipe Sumana and Ashley's show right before this, and I was started watching it on my phone, and then I switched it over to my laptop while I was getting all the background stuff ready today. And I know there's a delay between watching on YouTube versus
Yes.
watching on LinkedIn, but there was a delay between my phone and my laptop for the exact same platform. I thought that was
Yes.
just wild.
I found that too when I was streaming last week or
Did
the week
you? Yeah,
before.
I've
And
never
it bumped
noticed it
me off.
before. Okay, yeah, I've never noticed it before because I've done that,
I
every now
did.
and then.
It sometimes it bumps you off too.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you have to continually restart.
yeah. So
Yeah,
my
just
last question before we get into you dropping whatever other knowledge you want is, if you could travel anywhere right now, anywhere in the world, doesn't matter what's going on with the world or the natural disasters or anything, where would you go and why?
I think I would want a country that is very scenic but very calm, one that I know no one, and I would want to meet new persons. And one that is filled with silence, because life is so busy, it's so stressful, it's so action packed, especially since the hurricane in Jamaica. And
Oh,
so I feel that I would take a break with some everlasting rest. So I would want to go to a country, and maybe it doesn't exist, where there is silence, but there is still communication and there is still speech, but there is eternal rest. And somebody just bathe me, feed me, and do everything for me just for that month. And
oh,
I don't have to worry about anything. I don't know where in the world that exists. I doubt if it does, but I'd love to have that place.
oh, I love that idea. And if you find it, please send it my way. 'Cause
Certainly, certainly.
oh, I love that. I just love because so many times, and I mean this as a complete comment, you come across extremely professional and you're very focused. And I just love seeing you like laugh. It was just the cutest thing ever. It's like, that's why I ask these questions. I mean, some people that watch each week, I mean, we've got Kenny in the house and Randy's here and Mike and Kinga and Nick. They watch so much all the time. Christy. And there's a couple more people that are starting to watch more often. They're probably like, man, is she ever going to ask these people other questions? But it's like, I get to see your facial expressions. I get to
Yes.
see different experiences. And that's what I hope everybody that's watching you gets to see, everybody just as a little bit different person than just in their professional realm and everything. Oh, we got another Marcia in the house. I just love her. Marcia Lee, you are amazing. And definitely we need some pampering, don't we? It would be a very good thing. Oh my gosh. Oh, Mike's trying to say, Eden, you know your faith. That would be
Yes.
something. But
Yes.
where
Yes.
is Eden these days, man? I think we need that, right? Kinga's like, yeah, I want that too. I think you might, maybe that's what you need to go and do a book research on. How can we find this place and how can we access? How can we be affordable? How can we be there and nobody's bothering us and they're just feeding us?
Some people are suggesting Dubai.
Oh, Dubai. Yeah, I
I'm not so
personally don't have
sure
the
because I think it's
finances.
very hot. I think it's extremely hot there. So I doubt that.
Yeah. I think especially at different times of the year and who you're with, if gender and all, and how much money you have definitely plays an impact, whether it's a place like that or some other location too. So it would be
Yes.
nice if we could have like a 1 month no charge vacation every
Yeah,
year.
mushroom.
Can you imagine how peaceful?
You're hearing me. You're hearing me clearly.
I love
Which
it.
that comes with the pampering and comes with the attention and somebody being at your beck and call. Yes, that would be ideal.
I love that so very much. So I am ready for you to kind of hype yourself. I want to share this graphic, which I think is super cool. Look how cute you are down there. I was just like, look at her go. I love that so much.
I'm a
So,
small person.
I am much shorter than people give me credit for until they
Yes.
see me too. I love it. So let's talk about your most recent book, and then anything else you want to share, you go right ahead.
So my faith looks up. I wrote that book out of an experience. My son suddenly got ill in November of last year. He just lost his mobility. He's not able to recognize persons. He had a lot of spasms and so on. And it just happened out of the blue. He just was not responding to anyone. He scared and everything. It got us scared also. He's my only son. I have two children, a daughter and a son. And the doctors just could not find what the problem is, so they were not able to treat it. He had to just suffer through. They tried to give him all sorts of help in relation to they did several MRIs, they did the ultrasounds, they did numerous blood tests, they did all sorts of things. And then I just got to a point where I said, as a leader and as an individual, I have had challenges that have put my back against the wall, that makes me constantly look up and constantly question why it has sent me to the book of Jobs and all of those things. But this experience, I just could not grip myself. I couldn't find the faith inside of me to really pray, because as I said, I'm a Christian and the prayer will be good. But persons around me were praying, including my son. And then one day I sat down on my bed and I said, when it got to the 4th month and it was getting worse, and we are now looking at the fact that he might not live, I sat on my bed and I said, Lord, my faith looks up. You are my only hope. You are my only plea. They can't find what it is, but you know what it is. So let's see. And the moment I did that, I got a little relief and I wrote the title down. And then I got a call from a friend of mine who was expressing that she was praying about a particular situation. She lives in England and it's hard and she doesn't seem to be getting any answer. God doesn't seem to be listening to her and so on. And I listened to her, and then I got some other clients who came into my program, Purpose Reborn program, and they had the same cry. And I sat down and I thought about it and I wrote my book. It took me about 2 weeks to put that book together, because I had the facts. I knew what I wanted to say because I had the experiences and I had the research from those females who were having different problems in different situations. Some who were getting divorced, some who had lost large sums of money, some who just felt helpless and hopeless, some who were being pressured at their workplace, those who were carrying too much for too long. And so as they spoke with me, I realized that one of the threads that was common was the faith. Everybody was having a difficult time. It's as if faith was questioning why. And guess what? The 1st of January, I always have a word. And that word that I chose for January was faith. And I think my faith was properly tested because I chose the word faith. But out of it produced this book. And this book is helping so many persons. People kept saying it's as if you walked my story. It's as if you're in my life. It's as if you are a companion. You are telling things that I wanted to say, that I was afraid to say, I'm too ashamed to say, and those types of things. And so that's really what birthed the book. In putting the book together, of course, I would have looked into scripture. I would have bounce it along with other people. I would have said, tell me your story. Do you have any story of faith? Or so let's see how it would pan out. And some of the stories were not stories that inspired me, but there were some who pulled out of me what I really wanted to say and compiled that book. I wanted it to be a little devotional too, where persons were able to get an inspirational thought and they were able to get a powerful push, and they were also able to get action steps that they could use to upgrade their faith and upgrade their life and upgrade their leadership, depending on what level you're reading from. So I really wrote it because it came out of the heart, because I serve women leaders. But however, a lot of men have benefited and have told me that just change the content in relation to where you say you as a her and just say anyone, just you. So that's the inspiration behind that book.
That is huge. So I do want to apologize because I usually try to buy the books of guests before they come on the show, because I want to at least read a portion of them or a little bit. So I just purchased your book. So
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Guys, I do have it scrolling on the bottom of the screen right now, how you can find it on Amazon. Otherwise, just type it in. Just, it's literally, if you type in the words to her book, it comes right on. And then, Dr. Marcia, after we wrap up here, if you want to put the link in the actual comments of the event, that way everybody can have it. But literally, if you just type in "My Faith Looks Up," boom, it's right there.
I can. And if you want me to read a page, I could. Just one page. It's possible if you want me. I have
Let's
a couple
do that.
here.
We got time for one page. Go right ahead.
Okay, so it's this chapter 1, and it says, finding your faith and God's purpose in the wilderness. I start with a text. It says, see, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. I kept asking God why. Every inconceivable thing that could go wrong was going wrong. Has the universe and God conspired against me? Every area of my life was engulfed in a relentless upheaval, teetering at the edge of a huge precipice. Yet God remained silent. For months, I could not get an answer. That is not entirely true. The more I prayed, the more disappointments, challenges, and obstacles I received. I was not praying for success, wealth, or health. In between the silence, I was praying for strength, wisdom, clarity, direction, and divine favor. I was praying for faith, breakthroughs, miracles, and discernment. Why was it taking so long to get answers? It was as if God was saying, if I deliver you before you are ready for what I have prepared for you will fail. Your tests are your setup for something greater. My silence is my trust litmus test. Can I trust you? Do you trust me? We all face wilderness seasons in our lives, times of abject despair, uncertainty, confusion, and feeling lost. Perhaps you are in a career transition, fired or laid off in your mid 40s, after putting your heart and soul, your everything into making your organization successful and profitable. You may be dealing with the frustration, exhaustion, and resentment built up from consistently overworking and consistently being undermined, underpaid, and definitely unappreciated by administrators with seemingly no way out. You may be facing a personal crisis, which is the loss of loved ones, an unexpected divorce, or simply feeling a deep sense of unfulfillment, wondering when all this will end. Your enemies are rejoicing, mocking, jeering, and conversing. Your close friends become doubting and miserable comforters and eventually disappear. Just like Job wondering where God is and why he's so silent, or the Israelites wandering in the desert, we can feel adrift, unsure of where to turn. However, even in these barren landscapes, God is at work preparing us for something new. As it suddenly appeared in my own life, it can suddenly appear in your life. I remember a time when I felt desperately helpless and lost. I had climbed the corporate ladder, achieved external success, met most of my goals, and by all accounts was comfortable and happy. But with relentless life-changing events, my soul felt parched. I felt abandoned. I kept asking, had it come to this? Is this all there is? I felt like I was in a wilderness searching for purpose I could not quite grasp. It was during that time that I learned a profound truth. The wilderness is not a place of abandonment, but a place of preparation. It is where God strips away the distractions, refines our character, and reveals our true calling. So that's it.
That's powerful, my friend. That is amazing. Like 2 weeks. 2 weeks you did that.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that, well, you and I were talking behind the scenes, and I was just like, I give you so much credit for writing one book by yourself. I've done a couple anthologies with Nick, and if Kinga and I were in a book together and such. And it's so exciting to do an anthology because it's like, I've got one chapter, I can focus on one thing. But when you have an entire book, your name's on the cover of it, it's intense. And I know people that have taken years and years to do one book. Me, I started multiple books a long time ago. They aren't even close to finish. 2 weeks for you. I just love that so very much.
My first book took me 7 months though. And it's called A Leader Like You. And it really talks about finding your purpose, knowing what your assignments are and so on. But that took me 7 months.
I love that so much. So usually on Just Jackson guests, usually there's two different guests. So usually I would be escorting her off stage, thanking her right now, but we're going to give her a couple more minutes. After Dr. Marcia is done, I have a whole bunch of updates and a couple challenges for you. So stick around even when she's gone. If you have any questions, she can also go back to the chat and check what has
Yes.
anything you guys going on, because she's so good on LinkedIn. And make sure you check out her show tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. She's going to be talking about some of the damage in Jamaica, but also that trauma, what people are going through and how to really support and to be aware of that. So Dr. Marcia, I want to give you a little chance to talk about some of the other things you have going on. How should they connect with you? What is your ideal client, or how would they find you?
Good. So I help women who are weary or who feel overlooked or carrying more than their hearts can hold. I help those leaders. And so my work is shaped around guiding them back to the truth of who they are in God and rebuilding confidence and restoring this sense of sacred purpose that sustains their leadership and their life. And so that's really what I do over the long haul. I have a 3 month program that is called Purpose Reborn. I do one-on-one coaching, and there is a group session that I do also for persons who just want to do upgrade of faith for just a month or 2 weeks. And so they come into that group. People can really support me by inviting me to speak at women conferences or leadership retreats and faith-based gatherings. And they can also ask me to train the team if they're in educational leadership or into community leadership, especially communities that are disadvantaged. You can also share my books and my teachings with women who are searching for direction or healing. And of course, you can stay connected through my workshop on Tuesday, my LinkedIn program on Tuesdays. I am now on also Substack. I did something on Substack today. I did my first publication. And so I am on Substack also for those who are there and want to share with me. So you can stay connected through those programs. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm also on YouTube. And so I also do workshops and community initiatives to help expand the reach of my work. I want to remind women tonight as I close that their purpose is still alive. You are still here. You are a vessel. You are not just a leader, you're a vessel. God wants you to lead not from your pressure or from fumes. He wants you to lead from the overflow. So just remember that your voice still matters and your calling has not expired. When we lift one leader, we strengthen an entire community. Thank you so much.
Dr. Marcia, that was so profound. I mean, community is the way that we need to get back to, because, you're from Jamaica, but you live in the United States. You have seen the chaos of lack of community. I mean,
Yes.
when I grew up, everybody knew each other's names and they knew their kid's name, and this parent would call this parent if there was something not going up. Now people just build fences, they lock their doors, they shut their blinds, and nobody tends to really think about community quite as much. And I think your words just really kind of hit home when I heard those, that you're not just helping yourself when you better things, you're really having that impact. And I love that. I am so thankful you were willing to be on it here with me. I have been like, I've seen her in the comments. I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking maybe she will be on. And then I'm like, you said yes. I was like so excited about that. I cannot thank you enough. Please check out the comments. A lot of people were supporting you in there, and make sure to put in that your links to your book, your website. If you have any upcoming shows, you can put the link for tomorrow in there. Feel free to do that. If I don't see it in there, I'll try to put your link for tomorrow's show in there when I get off here tonight too. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It was a delight. It was a fun, and I enjoy you every week when I'm able to join, and even when I'm not able to join, I watch your replay. I love your energy. I genuinely love your energy.
I appreciate that, and I cannot wait to read your book. I will definitely let you know know how I'm thinking and how it's vibing for me, because
Yes.
just listening to your excerpt that you did, I think it's going to be very helpful for me too. So
And
thank you.
please give your review when you're finished also.
I
Reviews help.
always
Thank
review
you so
people's
much.
books.
Have a great week.
Thank you. We'll see you. Bye-bye. Wasn't she amazing? Yeah. So it's tough when there's only one guest on, because it's like, I know people are excited. Who's going to be the next guest? Who is going to be there? But I think Dr. Marcia really set the tone for a lot of things that I want us to be thinking about today, because there's so much going on in all of our lives, and we rush. And sometimes we have too many distractions, and we are chasing things, and we're forgetting about that community aspect. And sometimes I know I can get caught up in that. It's like it's all on my shoulders. I've got to take care of things. And we do have to rely on our community. We have to rely on our other people. So take some time to check out her book, her workshops, go to her 8 o'clock show. And I know Mike said that he loved her accent. I do too. Jamaican accents are so amazing. But you can listen to her live at 8 o'clock. It's her show. So make sure you check that out. Definitely want to thank you guys for joining tonight. I saw quite a few new people in the house. So thank you, Lisa, for making it here. I saw Shelly come in. Of course, there's Kenny, and there's Mike's been in, and who else? I saw somebody else not too long ago join in. It's been weird. Mondays have been a little slow, because I think it's just, at least in my part of the world, with the time change, it's getting darker. Our bodies are weird. Guys, I'm in Michigan, and we got our first snow yesterday. It was a very light dusting. It wasn't too bad at all. Went away maybe after just a few minutes, hour, something like that. But today, my town, I'm right here, okay? I'm kind of like right below the Pinky in Michigan, up against Lake Michigan. The town right above us, where one of my staff lives, it's like 45 minutes north of us, 8 inches of snow. She had no idea until her mom messaged her, and she said, are you leaving the office a little early? Because it's really bad up here. And she's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, just 45-minute drive, just that quickly, 8 inches of snow. Guys, it is only November 10th, and it's getting nasty. It's getting cold. The whole world has weird climate right now, natural disasters, things that we weren't really expecting, and things that kind of we are expecting, but we're never always prepared for, or we're not really expecting how much it's going to impact us. So it is November 10th, and I'm saying that date again for a couple different reels. Oh, Kenny's in a very warm state, and that is so night and day from Michigan. Texas, I could probably come visit right now because I need some warmth. November 10th. Guess what tomorrow is? November 11th. There's two amazing things. First of all, in the United States, I'm not sure if this is the same for Canada or any other country, but tomorrow is our Veterans Day. And I want to thank all the veterans that are out there, whether you're watching this on replay, you're watching on live, you're hiding in the comments, you're not able to watch tonight. Even if you don't see this, I want people to know how much I value those that are in the military. And it's not just, oh, thanks for your service. It's literally, thank you for being willing to change your entire lifestyle, impacting your own family, for trying to keep us safe and trying to make sure that there is opportunity for other people. And again, the world is an interesting place right now. It's a lot different in the United States for many of us. And there's a lot of questions and safety issues and things like that. And my heart just breaks for some of our military members and those that are veterans that are seeing what they fought for, or what they went and signed up for, in there being such a disconnect in the United States, and wanting to see how we can repair that and bring peace. So thank you all so much for being willing to put yourself in that. And if you know a veteran, please be aware that not all of them are happy when you say thank you for your service. Not all of them had great experiences or want to talk about it, and that's okay, because they get to decide what works for them for that. But November 11th is also another special day for me. And some of you guys have been watching for a while. Some of you guys I've been connected to for quite some time. And you know what happened for me in August, which was so treacherous, where my son was in a horrendous motorcycle accident. My son got in that accident, and a lot of trickle down things happened for me personally after that. I lost a very important friendship. They turned on me in ways I never anticipated or ever expected. Some family dynamics changed. I got to spend a lot more time with my son. I wish it wasn't halfway through the hospital and then when he recovered afterwards. But I also gained some clarity on some things that I'm not willing to settle for and some things that I need to do to move forward on, because we never know what is our last moment, when is our last day. But tomorrow, guys, it's my son's birthday. So this was on my birthday 2 weeks ago. I was 30 years old when I had him. And so he was born exactly 2 weeks to the day from when I had my 30th birthday. So our birthday's 2 weeks away. So this was 2 weeks away. This was the first picture he's let me post of him since his accident. If you look at him, he doesn't look like there's anything broken on him or there's any issues. This kid is a miracle kid. Like, he still has so much pain. He has so many things he is still working through, but he is a rock star, and it just, it does a mama's heart so well, especially listening to Dr. Marcia talk about her son and some of the challenges he's had. It's like, even though your babies get to be adults, you still kind of like, oh my gosh, they're my baby, and you just revert to this. Yes, he is standing tall. He is 6'3", 6'4", depending on how tall he straightens up, but he is my baby. He's going to be 22 tomorrow, guys. Isn't that wild? And then next to me on the other side is my daughter, Jordan. You guys did get to meet her on an early episode of Just Jax when she talked about her nonprofit Operation Solo that helps dogs out in our community that are living outside and on chains and on sometimes very unsafe or dangerous conditions, and they go to try to educate families and help give them supplies. And now that we have snow in bitter freezing cold up here, so much love to them. They were out in the cold and the snow yesterday providing dog food and straw and some igloos for the dogs to live in. So super cool stuff. I am so proud of my kiddos and so thankful that I get to celebrate his birthday, because there for a minute we wondered if he would get to be at his birthday. So I'm so thankful for that. So one of the challenges I said that I'm going to send you guys is I am going to encourage all of us, and that means me too, is not just to reach out to people when they're struggling or when they're having the rough life experiences, because guys, so many people have stuff going on behind the scenes that we just don't even realize is hurting them, that is pulling on their heartstrings, that is making them question things. Maybe it is really putting them in a situation where they just don't know how they're going to make it through some of this stuff. And yes, I love that you noticed I lit up with that. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. So we are going to breakfast tomorrow. He works 12-hour shifts. He went back to work 3 weeks ago. Day shift, 12 hours. His girlfriend works 12-hour weekend night shifts. And of course, I work a normal regular shift, but we have Veterans Day off at my agency tomorrow. So I'm like, hey, want to do breakfast? So I'm so excited to see him. I'm hoping the weather doesn't get too bad so I can't see him, because, oh my gosh, he's just so cute. Mike, that's so funny. Dude, seriously, it's so funny because I was doing a court group today for some youth that were court ordered to me. And they always ask, like, well, how long have you been doing this? And I know that I was doing it before I got pregnant for my son. And I'm like, well, it's 23 years because tomorrow's his birthday. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this longer than some of them can even imagine being that age. Isn't that wild? So super excited to celebrate my kiddo's birthday and wanting you to make sure that you're reaching out to those that need it. I also want to give a big shout out. You've seen Mike LeBlanc in the comments a lot. He's such a great supporter to me. And we only really crossed paths about maybe 2 or 3 months ago, maybe. Time's kind of getting into a weird spot with it being towards the end of the year. So maybe it's been a little longer than that. But he actually gifted me my intro, my outro. He gifted me another outro that I could not figure out how to download. I was hoping to share it with you guys tonight, so we might have to wait until next week. And then I got just the nicest message from him after last week show, because I did kind of talk about some of the frustrations that I'm going through with changed friendships and people that I thought, had my back, in finding out that not only do they not have my back, but there's some sabotage trying to go on. And that's never been guys, I'm old. I'm 52 and I have never experienced this before. So it's a very different spot. And Mike took the time to actually write me a message after the show. And somehow it got buried in my DMs and I totally missed it. And I'm like, that's the person that actually cares. And so one of my challenges, reach out to people before it gets too bad. My next challenge for you guys is consider being a guest on this show. You don't have to write a bunch of books like Dr. Marcia. You don't have to own your own business. You don't have to be looking for a job. You don't have to be anything like any other guest I've had. You just need to be you. That's almost like Bill's You Be You. Make sure to watch him at 4:00 on Sundays. But seriously, you deserve to be highlighted, supported. This is not a show where I'm trying to, just be the only one to talk like I kind of am right now. But I want to highlight people because my community is stronger when I learn more about people and I don't just read their business card or see what their website says. It's about actually gaining that personal relationship. And if I feel that way, I know others do. So people watching the show and supporting and watching on replay, they might be looking for you. They might be looking for a life coach. They might be looking for somebody to hire in a permanent position. They might be looking for somebody to just be a new connection or to maybe rebuild their website or to just give them an atta-girl or an atta-boy every now and then. And they may not know who you are without seeing you in a different capacity or being highlighted on a show like this, because you may have a ton of followers, but you may not have everybody that tunes in or comes and checks us out on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn. So consider being a guest. And if you are not quite ready to be a guest, or it's not your style, or you can't be available at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but you have somebody you would like to see featured, you want to hear their 3 questions or the answers to those 3 questions I always ask, feel free to reach out and give me a name or encourage them to reach out to me directly. I would love to talk to them, would love to see if it would be a fit for them. I have a lot of openings. Almost the entire month of December is open. So feel free to reach out. I'm super excited to see new people's voices and to hear people that maybe like just Dr. Marcia earlier, I knew she had the new book out. I remember that she was part of the COVID book. I didn't know she did textbooks, guys. She's actually published textbooks and other books. It's really cool. And the things that you get to learn about is pretty amazing. Now, I also shared, if you follow my page at all, if you don't, I post almost every day on LinkedIn. Sometimes I might skip just one day, but I rarely go 2 days without posting. And sometimes I write too much. None of my posts are ever created with AI. I do use AI for other things, so I'm not bashing it, but it's things that are really on my heart right then, or it's an event that I just did, or it's something that's important to me. And I did share that on my birthday this year, which was 2 weeks ago tomorrow. I am starting the process to become a living kidney donor. And I believe last time we talked, I may have shared that I was told that I have to lose some weight before they will officially approve me to the next step for my physical. And I have a 15-pound weight loss that they want me to agree to before they can move me on. So I'm happy to report in just over a week, I've already lost 5.5 pounds. To some people, that's no big deal. To me, it's a lot of work. It is an entire changed lifestyle, and I am just so excited about it. And it is something that I just feel is a calling for me. I haven't felt this right about any kind of a medical procedure ever in my life until this. So I can still use, if you're a praying person, if you send good juju, if you manifest good stuff to people, feel free to send it my way, because believe me, I can use all the help I can get, because this man, he is so deserving. His whole family is amazing. They do so much in our community, and he's on dialysis every single day. And he's still out there doing so much for people, even though he deserves this. Guys, I've carried this extra kidney around for 52 years. I don't need it. I need to give it to somebody. And so please, give me some good juju, because I can use the support so much. I appreciate that. I've also got something else exciting to share, in that I had a really good meeting last night with somebody, and I am going to be launching a new podcast, totally different than this one. I mean, it has a little bit of some of the same stuff, but completely different. in 2026. So I'm excited to jumpstart on it and to start getting some things going. And we will talk more about that soon. There will be some teasers coming up. I am super passionate about this. That word passion is kind of a teaser, actually. Maybe it's a premonition. And I am not going to share any more on that until we get just a little bit more of the time frame down on when you can expect it. It will not necessarily be a live show. It will be all pre-recorded, but it's going to be pretty interesting. And some of the things that are going to be done with this is going to be pretty, I don't want to say groundbreaking, but different for me being on camera doing this. And hopefully for the people that this is aimed for, they are not only going to learn from it, they're going to be inspired. And like Dr. Marcia said, you have energy and stuff. I mean, I'm feeling pretty low energy actually tonight. I don't know why, but I want to give my energy to these humans that will hopefully benefit from this. And I can't wait to share more with you guys, but I'm not going to just spill it yet. But I want to let you know that you deserve to keep moving forward. Like I was talking, in that second question about, I don't care how many degrees you have or how many books you've written, you deserve to keep learning and keep growing and keep elevating yourself. So another challenge for you. What are you working towards? Okay. It doesn't have to be a business. It doesn't have to be a money amount. But what are you working towards? Do you want to learn a new thing in technology? Do you want to learn how to cook a different recipe? Do you want to learn how to feel better in your own skin? Do you want to learn how to step outside your comfort zone and maybe date somebody new, or maybe start a new friendship? Maybe you do want to start a business. Maybe you want to do a side hustle. Maybe you want to get a second job just to do it. Maybe you want to travel for the first time, or maybe travel solo. What are you wanting to do? So there are a lot of amazing coaches and a lot of people that are very into this whole, hey, we're in the last quarter, you got to finish strong. What are your goals for the first quarter for next year? Where are you at? And that is so great for whoever wants to do that. And especially if you're working with somebody that's focusing you that way, keep going with that. But you internally have some things to look forward to for yourself, and you can put them out online so you can kind of re-look at it. You can type it in your phone so it pops up every time your phone goes off so you can remember, or you can just have it in here. Because when our brain doesn't have things to look forward to, guys, it kind of starts getting a little blah. And that blah can sometimes lead to loneliness. It can sometimes lead to that imposter syndrome. It can lead to some of that, should I just give up? Is this how life's always going to be? Am I not going to get anything better out of this? Am I not worth it? Is there really an end goal or something? So I really want to challenge you to always have something to look forward to. I love that. I never realized Dr. Marcia and I are both shorter people and our children are tall. Isn't that weird? And that's one of the reasons I shared that picture with my kiddos, because, I tend to sit close because of the way my room is. I can't have my table that far away. Plus my arms are short, so I can't reach my computer if it's too far away. But a lot of people, because I'm farther in the screen, they don't think that I'm necessarily a shorter human. Yeah, it is. The minute your child is taller than you, it just kind of does something to you. It's like, oh, okay, baby. How do you do that, right? So I always get a kick out of that when I find somebody else is about the same level as me and everything. Guys, so much cool stuff going on. I want to hear from you. I want to have you guys as a guest. I want to highlight you. If you're not interested in being a guest and you want me to highlight you in a different capacity, or if you want to send me like a little bit of information that you may want shared someday when I only have one other guest on the stage, I can go through and I want to highlight you guys. So keep me posted. I am always going to be a mental health hype woman, no matter what is going on in my world, no matter if there are people trying to throw things at me or trying to shame my name or something like that. I am as real as you can get. And I am somebody that is always going to be here to hype people that deserve that. And I think almost every one of us deserve it, even if we're struggling ourselves or even if we're butting heads with somebody, because that's how the world grows. We grow by that community Dr. Marcia talked about. And I want to encourage you to do whatever works the best for you. Kinga, I kind of had a feeling we're going to have to get together someday in person because, well, we need to anyways, but we need to do some pictures together. I think that would be so amazing. Guys, thank you for being a guest tonight. Thank you for supporting Dr. Marcia. Thank you for watching. If you're watching the replay, if you're catching bits and pieces of it because LinkedIn is being shady for you, or if you don't have enough time and you're multitasking, please go back and check out some of the cool words that Dr. Marcia used because she's amazing. And I just want to make sure that you can support her as much as you can. And again, give a huge thanks to Mike because, again, the outro is coming right now. He's amazing. Maybe by next week, you'll hear a new one. And thank people that care about you. Thank people that check in on you. So thank you, Mike. Thank you, everybody. Have a super great rest of your night.
Thank you for coming, for spending your time with us at Just Jacks, where repair can align. Re-entry with dignity, justice that restores. Conflict finds peace as we open new doors. Yeah. Family reunification under the same moon. Thanks so much for coming. We'll see you soon. Thank you for coming, for spending your time with us at Just Jacks, where repair can align. Re-entry with dignity, justice that restores.